Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Brandon Morvillius alongside cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy on the WHS Network. On YouTube.com, we have Lady Raider softball coming at you here this morning as we have a great matchup here with the 8-3 Alexandria Lady Tigers taking on your 6-1 Wapahani Lady Raiders. The first game of the year here for us on the broadcast for the softball team. As we'll go ahead and get right into things here with our Muncie Dragway pregame report here this morning. The Raiders, like I mentioned, 6-1 on the season. Got a great victory last night against the Newcastle Lady Trojans right out here from Raider Field. And a great start to the year. We've seen a lot of, I think, progress here from these ladies, and a lot due to the fact of the leadership of some elder statesmen, if you will, of the team. And, you know, we're starting to see some of these younger players mature and really grow into fantastic softball players here. And really it all starts from the top of the lineup there. You got Meagan Martin that is the leadoff hitter here for the Lady Raiders, that is. And really gets this offense going. And, you know, you got the likes of Casey Dragoo and Annie Shuck, Maya Smith, Dayton Lee, Daisy Gibson, these ladies that have, you know, kind of been here for a while, and not only that, but played a lot of travel ball. You know, with them hitting after her, it's really setting them up nicely. And then, you know, you got your latter part of the order, like I said, with Daisy Gibson, Olivia Smith, Anna Buchanan, Emma Shuck. These ladies are producing as well. So really 1 through 9, we've seen a very potent offense at times. I think Buchanan has had a nice season here on the mound so far, really doing a nice job of keeping her team in the game. And that's one of the biggest keys for each and every single ball game, is to come out here and put your best 9 out there. And then, you know, you have your bench players that will come in and play their role and do a fantastic job as well. So really looking forward to today's doubleheader. This is game 1 of 2 today. We'll have probably 30 minutes in between time to allow the players and coaches and fans to get what they need to get to refuel back up here for game 2. But the ladies coming off of a good victory last night. Hopefully that translates into today's doubleheader against a tough team like Alexandria. So hope all of you are able to enjoy today's game. Again, a beautiful Saturday morning here, and hopefully a great afternoon as well. We're supposed to have nice sunny skies all day, and it's actually pretty decently temperature-wise outside as well. We've had a little battle with the weather. I think everybody, especially here in the Midwest and Northeast part of the state, or the country, that is, has definitely felt the effects of Mother Nature throughout the season here, and we've had some postponements and so on and so forth, but definitely great to get back out here for some Lady Raider softball here today. So we'll go ahead and step aside here for a break. We got the national anthem and starting lineups here coming up on the WHS Network. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here on the WHS Network. Again, gotta have a little bit of a different setup here from Raider Field on the softball side of things. We have the PA announcer right next to me, so just got to kind of bear with us here. We got the speaker actually pretty close to us here as well, so we'll try to keep this as nice and as smooth as possible as we get things going here this morning with Game 1 of today's doubleheader between the Alexandria Lady Tigers in your Wapahani Lady Raiders. We'll take a look here at the starting lineups first for the Alexandria Lady Tigers. Leading things off and catching, number 13, Mckenzie Mccarty. Batting second and playing center field, number 1, Kiana Alberts. Batting third and playing shortstop, number 21, Caitlin Bayer. Also batting fourth and playing first base, number 15, Mickey Murphy. Batting fifth, the designated player, number 28, Abbey Burnett. She'll be hitting for the pitcher, number 9, Alexis Bean. Batting sixth and playing left field, number 24, Mckenzie Swingo. Batting seventh and playing right field, number 3, Hannah Bivens. Batting eighth, second baseman, number 11, Kirsten Van Horn. And batting ninth, the third baseman, number 16, Elias Stanridge. Again, the Lady Tigers are coached by Sarah Olbeck. So again, that's this morning's starting lineup there for the Alexandria Lady Tigers. We'll go ahead and take things on over here to the Wapahani Lady Raiders. Again, a little bit of a different camera view here for us. We'll have to battle with the window divider throughout the most part of the game here. But we'll go ahead and take a look here at today's starting lineup. First and foremost here, leading things off will be the left fielder, number 9, Meagan Martin. Batting second and playing shortstop, number 2, Casey Dragoo. Batting third and catching for the Lady Raiders, number 15, Annie Shuck. Batting fourth, playing second base, number 12, Amaya Smith. Batting fifth and playing center field, number 19, Dayton Lee. Batting sixth and playing third base, number 33, Daisy Gibson. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 20, Olivia Smith. Batting eighth and pitching for the Raiders, number 28, Hannah Buchanan. And batting ninth, first baseman, number 10, Emma Shuck. Again, the Lady Raiders coached by Jackie Glancy, assisted by Julie Hughes, Julie Wilson, and Danielle Wellman. So again, that's today's starting lineups for Game 1 of today's doubleheader. We'll go ahead and step aside here for a break. We got the National Anthem coming up and today's first pitch right here on the WHS Network. All righty, welcome back here, folks. Getting things moving right along here with today's Jones Auto Body defensive alignment. Again, out in the outfield here, we have Meagan Martin in left, Dayton Lee in center field, Olivia Smith over in right. Around the horn with Daisy Gibson at third, Casey Dragoo at shortstop, Amaya Smith at second, and Emma Shuck at first base. And then your battery mates here, we have Hannah Buchanan on the mound and Annie Shuck behind the plate. Again, that is today's Jones Auto Body defensive alignment. Again, the Raiders coming into this morning's game 6-1 on the year. Alexandria 8-3. Both teams very eager to really set the tone here early hopefully Buchanan will have a nice day here on the mound, and hopefully the Lady Raiders get the bats going early and often. So to begin things here this morning with the Alexandria Lady Tigers will be the catcher, number 13, Mckenzie Mccarty. She'll step in here.
Leading off for Alexandria, the catcher, number 13, Mckenzie Mccarty.
So Buchanan on the rubber here, and we'll get things started here with today's first pitch. And that will be in there for a ball, 1-0 to begin things. Again, Buchanan has really had a nice start to the season here on the mound. Again, if you do hear a little bit of a rumble here in the microphone, we do have the windows open, so the wind's blowing in here, so just bear with us here a little bit. But nevertheless, 2-0 the count here on Mckenzie Mccarty. Buchanan gets her signs, and the 2-0 pitch will be swung on and missed, strike one. Tell you what, it definitely did get windy all of a sudden. 2 balls, 1 strike, Buchanan with the pitch, and that's going to be low and away now, 3-1. Again, Mccarty, probably one of their better hitters here on the Lady Tigers team. That's the reason why she's leading off. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be ball 4, so a leadoff walk to begin the game as Mckenzie Mccarty marches on down to first base. And now we'll have the center fielder, number 1, Kiana Alberts, now at the plate. So Buchanan looking to potentially get a double play here, or at least some kind of an out. And it's 1-0 the count here on Alberts. She did not go there on with the, as far as with the at bat there. She pulled the bat back just in time. So 1-0 to begin things with Alberts. Following her will be Caitlin Bear, the shortstop here for the Lady Tigers. Called a strike. Nice pitch there from Buchanan to even the count up here at 1 ball and 1 strike. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. So now the Lady Tigers have a pair of runners on. And still nobody out here to begin today's ball game.
The shortstop, number 21.
So again here, 2 on and nobody out here with shortstop Caitlin Bear at the plate, as that's in there for a called strike, 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike here on Caitlin Bear, and the pitch in there called strike 2. So no balls, 2 strikes on Bear, with Mickey Murphy waiting on deck. Tell you what, it'd be really nice if that sun was to come back out here and hopefully allow the wind to die down a little bit, because it literally just started picking up right before we started the game. So 1 ball, 2 strikes on Bear. And a pitch, and that's going to be skied well out of play there to, again, allow the count to remain at 1-2. So McCarty out there at second base, Alberts at first. And down to third, Gibson will step on third base and look like she might have twisted her ankle there. She went down on the play, stepped on the base, and the ankle twisted, so we hope everything is going to be all right there. So great job there to at least get the out. There's one out now in the inning. And looks like Daisy will hopefully be okay down there. She got up. She's moving around here a little bit. So it looks like she more than likely will stay in the game, just exercising that ankle out again. She went over to step on the bag, and it's just simple. Her foot slipped right off and twisted her ankle there. So unfortunate there for Daisy. But again, we do have one out now in the inning. McCarty was out on the fielder's choice, force out there. So Alberts moves up to second. You have Caitlin Bear now down at first base. And the first baseman, number 15, Mickey Murphy, will be now hitting here for the Lady Tigers momentarily. I guess while we got a little bit of time here, I'd like to thank our sponsors here today. I'd like to thank our pregame sponsor, the Muncie Dragway, owned by Scott and Dawn Daniels. Muncie Dragway is located along State Road 67, just west of Albany, Indiana. For more information and upcoming events, please visit their website at www.munciedragway.com. And you can also contact them at 765-789-8470. Muncie Dragway, family fun, an eighth mile at a time. Also to University Avenue Dental, Greg Pyle, DDS. Greg, along with the rest of his talented dentistry crew, look to solving your unrecognized dental needs with a viable patient experience, outstanding treatment, and that cutting-edge dentistry. University Avenue Dental is located at 800 West University Avenue in Muncie, Indiana. Their hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday.
Number 15, Mickey Murphy.
So Gibson will indeed stay in the game. Hopefully things will be all right there. You never like to see anybody get hurt, especially one of your own. So a nice play down there at second base. 1-0 to begin things here on Mickey Murphy. So Alberts was caught stealing. They've literally ran into outs. 1-0 the count here on Murphy. Runner did move up to second base. That was a double steal. And they're called a strike now to even things up here. One ball. And one strike here on Murphy with Abbey Burnett waiting on deck. Buchanan trying to leave her there. A pop up in the infield. There's Dragoo, and she'll make the play for the third and final out of the inning. So a great job there by Buchanan, finding a way to get out of trouble there as the Lady Tigers threaten, but nothing to show for here as they get no runs on a hit. Also no errors and one left on. We'll head to the bottom of the first here from Raider Field. Scoreless after a half inning. Alrighty, welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, as we are set to begin the bottom half of the first inning here from beautiful Raider Field. Again, it was sunny, now overcast skies, but hey, it's still a great day to play some softball out here as we will begin things here in the bottom half of the first with the left fielder number 9, Meagan Martin.
Leading off the bottom of the first inning for Wapahani, the left fielder, number 9, Meagan Martin.
So Barton will step in here to lead off the game here for the Raiders. And the pitch here, and that's going to be low for a ball. 1-0 to begin things here with Meagan Martin. Again, I talked about her earlier. Really, she's the jump start to the offense every game. Able to come out here and to know that she's going to be able to get on base for other ladies behind her to hopefully hit her in, score some runs early and often. But 1 through 9, this lineup's been pretty good here so far. Really looking for a lot of that here today. Called a strike on the outside corner. Runs the count now to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bean gets her signed and a pitch, and swung on and missed, strike 3. So a strikeout to begin things here for the Lady Raiders. As now we'll see the shortstop, number 2, Casey Dragoo.
The shortstop, number 2, Casey Dragoo.
Well said there, Zitgraf. I think he might have been mimicking what I just said right there. In there, a ball up and in. 1-0 to begin things with Dragoo. She's had a nice season for herself, a senior this year. Tell you what, time just flies by. These seniors, I remember when they was freshmen, and even younger than that. It's really quite insane to think how really fast time does fly by. But she's really grown into a fine softball player here. I mean, she's continued on throughout the years, but she's really been complimented here with the way she has progressed through the years, and really been a huge key in this Raider lineup. Ball outside now, runs the count to 3-1. Following her, you got Annie Shuck. 3-1 to count, and that's going to be a ball 4, low in the dirt. So a 1-out base runner here for the Lady Raiders. And that will now bring to the plate the catcher, number 15,
Now batting the catcher,
Annie Shuck.
number 15, Annie Shuck.
So 1 out and 1 on here in the bottom of the first. Bean with the windup and a pitch, and a ball up and in. 1-0 here on Shuck. Again, Dragoo, pretty good wheels on over there at first. So see if we can possibly hit it in the gap, or not even take over the fence at this point. That's always nice. Have a little possible 2-run shot here. Here's the pitch. Ball low and away. Two and one here on Annie. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field. And that really died there. The wind got a hold of that one. And Dragoo will be now on at second base. So a hit right there for Shuck. It wasn't ideal, but hey, they got the job done. That's all that matters.
The second baseman, number 12, Amaya Smith.
So now the second baseman, number 12, Amaya Smith, will stand in at home plate with a pair of runners on base. Dragoo at second, Shuck at first, and a ball low and in for ball one. Amaya, another one of these ladies, can do it with the bat, but also in the field, very solid defender. And a throw back to second base. Dragoo got back in there in plenty of time. Two and 0 the count here on Amaya. One out here in the inning. Caught the outside part, now 2-1. Bean gets her signs. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be past the first baseman to right field. Here comes Dragoo around third. And she will score on the play. A miscue by the right fielder. And Shuck will now come home as well. So a RBI single and an error allows the Lady Raiders to plate 2 here in the inning. So a great way to start things right here if you're the Lady Raiders.
The center fielder.
So Dragoo scored on the single by Olivia Smith. And then Shuck came all the way around to score on the air. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field by Lee. Olivia Smith will now score. And the Raiders now lead at 3-0. Getting it going early and often, just what I was hoping to see. Lee now at first base. Smith came around to score after the RBI single.
Daisy Gibson.
So we'll have the third baseman, number 33, Daisy Gibson, at the plate. With the lady on at first. And that's a shot into left center field. Lee will stay put at second. And the Lady Raiders have now strung, 4 hits together in a row. So Gibson now at first base, Dayton Lee at second. And the Raiders are still threatening for more here with the right fielder, number 20, Olivia Smith. And we're going to have a courtesy runner.
Hey, they can't hear you on the speakers, I guess.
I got it up all the way.
Now running for the Lady Raiders, number 6.
So number 6, Carissa Clariday, will now come into courtesy run for Daisy Gibson down at first base.
Now batting the right fielder, number 20, Olivia Smith.
So a foul ball. 0-1 to begin things here with Olivia Smith. So again, you have Clariday down at first, Dayton Lee at second, and still only one out here in the bottom of the first inning. And the pitch, and that's going to be down the right field line and foul. So now Smith in the hole here, 0-2, got to protect the plate. Tell you what, though, this has definitely been the ideal start here for Wapahani. Had the leadoff girl Barton get out via the strikeout, but then everybody else down the line here has been able to reach base. But I'm sure Barton will get that back here the next time she's up. So it does move the runners up there. A very productive at bat by Olivia Smith. Now 2 outs here in the inning.
Hannah Buchanan.
And at the plate now will be the pitcher, number 28, Hannah Buchanan. And Buchanan will foul that one off. 0-1 here on Hannah. Again, getting it done on the mound here this season so far. Not too bad with the bat either. And this is a great opportunity to help yourself out here and possibly tack on a couple more runs here in the opening inning. A ball up and in. 1 ball and a strike to Buchanan. Number 8 hitter in the order, Emma Shuck, waiting patiently on deck. Down the third base line, nearly took out her coach Jackie Glancy down there, but her acrobatic skills allowed her to get out of the way of that one. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Buchanan. Lee at third, Claire Day at second. And the 1-2 offering will be swung on and missed, strike 3, and that will end the inning. So the Raiders get 3 runs here in the bottom of the first inning. They get 3 runs here on 4 hits, also 1 error, and 2 left on. We'll head to the top of the second here from Raider Field. Raiders lead it 3-0. All righty, welcome back here with the top of the second inning here from Raider Field. Brandon Morvillius alongside cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy as we begin things here. Gibson on the first, and 1 pitch and 1 out. Down goes Abbey Burnett for a 5-3 put out. Now the left fielder, number 24, Mckenzie Mccarty, will stand in here with nobody on and 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Fouled off there to the third base side, 0-1. Like I've already mentioned here, Wapahani with a great start to the ball game. They're already putting their opponents down 3 runs here in the opening inning. It's always great to get pressure on them early. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Buchanan, and that's going to be skied out of play. So now the count runs to 1 ball and 2 strikes. And that's going to be up behind the backstop area. That might get us. Oh, hey, it nearly does. So again, here the count remains 1-2. Buchanan gets her signs here from Shuck. And the pitch. And now being muscled into center field. And Dayton Lee flashing some leather out there. Making the running grab. And that will be out number 2 of the inning. Well done right there by Dayton.
Now batting the right fielder.
And now batting will be the right fielder, number 3, Hannah Bivens. With 2 out and nobody on. Showed bunt, brought the bat back. Up and in there for a ball, 1-0. In there, called a strike by the home plate umpire. Evens the count here. 1 ball, 1 strike. The windup and the pitch. A delayed call, but strike two. So Buchanan has her right where she wants her. That's going to be popped back. That might get us two. And it's out of play just behind us there. The reason I say that the way this press box is constructed, you get a foul ball back here, it's gonna seem like an absolute gunshot. We've had that happen to us numerous times through the years. So it's all about the waiting game of waiting to see if it's going to happen or not. 2-2 the count on Bivens. And the pitch here will be a roller to the second base side. And a nice play there by Smith and a nice catch from Emma Shuck to end the inning. So Buchanan mows down this Lady Tigers offense here in the second inning as they get no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. We'll head to the bottom half of the second inning here from Raider Field. Lady Raiders lead at 3-0. Welcome back here. We got the bottom half of the second inning. And we'll lead things off here for the Lady Raiders with the first baseman, number 10, Emma Shuck. As she will swing and miss at that one. 0-1 to begin things for Emma. You can see the number 9 hitter in the order. Following her will be back to the top of the lineup here with Meagan Martin. And they're called strike two. So Shuck in a hole here early in this AB. Just got to continue to battle here. And strikes now swinging and gets by the catcher. She's going to motor on down the first, and she'll get there in time. So Shuck lucked out there.
The left fielder, number 9, Meagan Martin.
So a strikeout and then a wild pitch. Allows her to advance on to first base. Again, here Meagan Martin standing in for her second plate appearance of the day. 0-1 to begin things for her. She struck out swinging in the first. But she's looking to change that right here, right now. A ball low in the dirt. One ball, one strike on Barton. Shuck down at first. Emma Shuck, that is. Ball just a bit outside. Now 2-1 the count. Casey Dragoo on deck with nobody out here in the inning. Another ball just a hair low and away. Didn't miss by a whole lot there. 3 balls, 1 strike to Meagan Martin. Here's the pitch. And slap to the third base side. She touches it in fair territory. And that was a well-placed ball. So a infield single off of the glove there, the third baseman.
Now batting the shortstop, number 2, Casey Dragoo.
So Shuck on the second base. Barton down at first. And the shortstop, number 2, Casey Dragoo at the plate. Lady Raiders threatening for more here, so that's going to be a ball up in the zone, 1-0. Again, they placed 3 runs up on the board in the bottom half of the first inning. We'll see what kind of damage we can create here in the second. Popped up there to the first baseman. So unfortunate series of events there for Dragoo.
The catcher, number 15, Annie Shuck.
So nobody advanced on the play. Barton will remain at first. Shuck at second, and Annie Shuck at the plate. And that's a deep drive left center field. That's going to be off the wall. Here comes that's Barton around third to play at the plate, and she'll be out at home. Shuck will slide in safely at third. So the Raiders will tack on another run after a deep drive to left center by Shuck. So Emma Shuck scores on the double.
Baseman number 12, Olivia Smith.
Barton thrown out at home. So 0-1 here on the Lady Raiders second baseman, Olivia Smith. She fouls that one off down the right field line. Quick 0-2 count here on Amaya. And a chopper to the shortstop on down the first, and that will end the inning. But the Raiders tack on another run as
after 2 complete.
Wapahani got 1 run here on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. We'll head to the top of the third already. Lady Raiders lead this one 4-0 after 2 innings. All righty, folks, back here with the top of the third inning as Van Horn leads off the inning here. A deep drive to left, and that's going to be gone. So a leadoff solo shot by second baseman Kirsten Van Horn will get the Lady Tigers on the board.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 16.
So an unfortunate, unfortunate homer given up there by Buchanan, but nice piece of hitting by Van Horn, as we'll have the third baseman, Elias Stanridge, at the plate. I'm going to say that was a dead ball there. I'm assuming that the bat ended up hitting the ball twice. So 0-1 to begin things here with Stanridge. Just he'll step back in there. Buchanan back on the rubber. And the 0-1 will be a ball up and away. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody on, nobody out, and that's going to be fouled back, and that one got us. So the count here at a ball and 2 strikes to the number 9 hitter in the order for the Tigers. And popped up in the infield. Smith is there, and she'll collect it for out number 1 of the inning.
The catcher.
So now batting will be the catcher, number 13, Mckenzie Mccarty. McCarty drew a walk to lead off the ball game in the first inning. So she'll stand in here, and we'll see what Buchanan, what kind of magic she can work here in this at-bat. As she starts her off with a ball low and away. End there, called a strike. Again, really aside from that leadoff homer by Van Horn, really Buchanan has pitched a solid 2 innings here, well, 2 1/3 innings so far. Only has 1 walk. Other than that, she's really mowed down these Lady Tigers hitters. Another fly ball in the left field. There's Barton there to make the catch for out number 2. Again, the way that the wind's blowing, anything is possible out here.
The center fielder, number 1.
It really wasn't that bad to begin the ball game. It was just really out of nowhere. The sun went up in the clouds, and then the wind came, and so did the cold air. So 2 out, nobody on. As that's going to be swung on and missed here by center fielder Kiana Alberts. Alberts so far here on the day singled in the first, and then was caught stealing at third base. As Hannah Buchanan is now ahead of Alberts 0-2. Again, it is Strikeout Cancer Day out here at Raider Field. Very important time here. All the proceeds that are given, at least to my knowledge, will be to help out the family of Amanda Thrasher, a teacher at Selma Elementary School that is battling cancer right now. We want to send her our thoughts and prayers, and hopefully she is able to beat cancer. Obviously, that's such a touchy subject, I think, with anybody. But I just want to send our thoughts and prayers to her and her family right here from the WHS Network. As that's skied up in the left field, Martin will be there to make the catch. So a couple of nice plays there by Barton on the defensive side here, as the Tigers are able to put 1 run up on the board after a leadoff solo homer. And Wapahani still leads it after 2.5 innings, 4-1. Back here on the WHS network for the bottom half of the third inning. And we will begin things here with the center fielder here for the Lady Raiders, number 19, Dayton Lee. Dayton singled in the first inning. Ended up collecting a RBI out of it there, as Olivia Smith scored on the play. So 1 for 1 here with a ribeye. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ball low and in, now 2-1. So Dayton looking to get things started here in the bottom of the third inning for the Raiders. We put up at least one run in the first two innings. That's a ball high and away. Again, this is game one of today's doubleheader. Game two will start, I would say, probably pretty close to right around 1 o'clock or so. 12:30, 1 o'clock area. So a leadoff walk there to Dayton Lee as she trots on down to first. And that will now bring up the third base, number 33, Daisy Gibson. Gibson also 1 for 1, had a single.
The third baseman, number 33, Daisy Gibson.
Sure glad that she's all right, though. She took a little bit of a bad step, if you will, there in the first inning on a force out at third. Rolled her ankle a little bit, but looks to still have that pep in her step. Throw on down to first. The ball will get away. A little surprised that Lee might not have taken off right there, but still good job of getting back on the play as the count is now 1-1 on Daisy Gibson. So Bean back on the mound. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that will be a shot down the third base line. Foul. So the count will stay put here at 1 ball and 2 strikes with a lady on down at first base and Dayton Lee. 4-1 lead for Wapahani. Plated 3 runs in the first, 1 more run in the second. And we're threatening for hopefully more runs here in the third. But Gibson putting up a nice battle here in this at bat. We'll see what she can do here. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And laced down the third base line fair. Here's Lee motoring around the third, and she'll be in there safely after a scolded shot right there by Daisy Gibson. A nice piece of hitting there. 2 for 2 now on the day for Daisy. As again, we'll see Dayton Lee now at third, Gibson at first.
The right fielder, number 20.
And we'll have the right fielder, number 20, Olivia Smith, now at the plate. Now with runners on the corners and nobody out here in the inning. Showed bunt, brought the bat back, and it's 1-0. Smith hit it to the second base side there for a 4-3 putout in the first inning. Did advance the runners to second and third. So a very productive at bat there for Olivia. One ball, 1 strike. Bunted into the glove of the catcher. So now the count stands in here at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bean gets her signs and the pitch. Well outside there for a ball. Strike 3 gets her looking. A little too close to take right there, but she'll get it next at bat there. So 1 out now in the inning. You still have Lee at third, Gibson at first, and the pitcher, Hannah Buchanan, at the plate, and she'll send that one right back up the chute. As Gibson will now move on to second, an RBI single for Hannah Buchanan, and the Raiders now lead it 5-1. First pitch swinging on that one, and we'll have a
number 18
courtesy runner.
Alison Stewart
Now down at first base. Be number 18.
Number 10
Alison Stewart.
Shuck.
"5-1 Raiders lead it here, and that's going to be fly ball in the center field. That'll be the second out of the inning there by Emma Shuck. So now back to the top of the order with the left fielder, number 9, Meagan Martin.
The left fielder, number 9, Meagan Martin.
So 2 out, 2 on. Gibson at second, Stewart at first. As that's a ball up in the zone, 1-0. Meagan here so far on the day, struck out swinging in the first, and then a single in the second. As that's going to be fouled back out of play to even the count up at a ball and a strike. Wapahani's already planted 1 run here, looking for more. And a little pop up to the shortstop there, and she'll make the catch for the third out of the inning. So again here, the Lady Raiders still continuing to tack on some more runs here. 1 more run here in the third inning as they get 1 run here on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. So the top of the fourth we go here. Wapahani leads Alexandria 5-1 after 3 innings. We'll be back here with more Lady Raider softball on the WHS Network. Here we are, folks, back with the top of the fourth inning. Welcome back in here. We'll get things started here with Caitlin Bear and a quick 6-3 putout for out number 1 of the inning. Again, as the Lady Tigers
batting the first baseman,
been very aggressive at times.
Mickey Murphy.
And a first pitch swinging situation there, 1 out. And now we'll have the first baseman, number 15, Mickey Murphy. Murphy here on the day popped it up to the shortstop to end the inning in the first. 0 for 1 so far, as that one's going to be fouled off the catcher, 0-1. And a pop up there to Smith. Easy peasy there for Maya. So 2 up and 2 down for the Tigers.
Number 28, Abbey
And
Burnett.
now the designated player, number 28, Abbey Burnett, will stand in here at home plate. 0 for 1 on the day. She grounded out to the third baseman in the second inning, as Buchanan will begin things 1-0. And right back up the middle is Burnett. So a 2-out single. So she tries to get things started here for the Lady Tigers in the fourth.
Now batting the left fielder, number 24, Mckenzie
The third hit
Mccarty.
given up by Buchanan here on the day. So we'll have the left fielder, number 24, Mckenzie Swango. I like that. That's a nice last name. Swango Tango. So, something along those lines. Make it fun. A little nub shot there. Gibson on down to first, and that's that. First pitch swinging as the Lady Raiders and Hannah Buchanan mow down the Lady Tigers again here in the fourth, as they get no runs on one hit, no errors, and one left on. To the bottom of the fourth we go. Lady Raiders lead at 5-1. We'll be back with more right after the break. Alrighty, folks, welcome back here. Bottom of the fourth inning, as Dragoo laces one down foul, and now to play down the third base line.
I think it's 0-2. The first one's a strike.
So 0-2 the count here on Dragoo. Down the shortstop over to first. And that will be the first down of the inning.
The catcher,
So that will now bring up to the plate
number
the
15,
catcher,
Annie Shuck.
number 15, Annie Shuck. So again, Shuck here on the day so far, 2 for 2. Had a single in the first and then an RBI double in the second. So 1-0 the count here on Shuck. Looking to continue the absolute raking she's been able to provide so far. Down to third base. They'll be in fair territory. And a nice stretch, but the first baseman unable to make the play.
She did the old splits. That's a pretty good play by
Now batting the second baseman, number 12, Olivia Smith.
So we'll go ahead and rule that a single. That was a bang play either way. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Amaya Smith shoots it out the right field. The right fielder there. So 2 quick outs here in the inning. I think we might have only played maybe a minute and a half. So now we'll see the center fielder, number 19, Dayton Lee.
Dayton Lee.
Dayton 1 for 1 here on the day. Had a RBI single in the first and then walked and scored a run in the third. Dribbled down to the third baseman on the first, and that's that. Another stretch there by the first baseman. Definitely getting her stretches in today. So, ladies and gentlemen, that sums it up right here in the fourth. Raiders get no runs on hit. No errors, 1 left on. We'll head to the top of the fifth here from Raider Field. The Raiders lead at 5-1. Welcome back here with the top of the fifth inning here. 1-0 the count here on right fielder Hannah Bibbins. And that's shot out in the right center field. Olivia Smith's there and will get it back in. So a leadoff single here for Bibbins. So after a leadoff single of Bibbins, we will see the second baseman on number 11, Kirsten Van Horn. Van Horn 1 for 1 on the day. Had the solo shot back in the third inning. This would definitely be a ideal situation for a double play here if Buchanan can get the ground ball. Fly ball in the right center field. There's Dayton Lee to make the catch. And out number 1 of the inning. So 1 on and 1 out. And to the number 9 hitter in the order, third base, number 16, Elias Standridge. Fouled off there and down the third base line, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Man, that couldn't have missed by a whole lot there. Evens the count here at 1-1. She did go on the swing, and oh man, very close down there at first base. Thought might have got her. But the count still remains here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 out, 1 on. Buchanan. Take a look in there. Gets her signs. Here's the pitch. The ball high and away. And Buchanan's really kept these hitters off balance all game for the most part here. Aside maybe from a couple batters, but so far through nearly over 4 innings, almost 5 innings pitched here, she's really done a nice job of keeping these ladies off balance offensively. So 3 balls, 2 strikes here. This is actually the first 3-2 count of the day here for Buchanan. And the payoff pitch. And that's going to be laced into center field. And Dayton Lee lays out for the catch. Can you say Web Gym nominee? Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Nice catch there by Dayton Lee for out number 2 of the inning.
The catcher, number 13, Mckenzie Mccarty.
These ladies flashing all kinds of leather out here today. So 2 outs now in the inning. Back to the top of the lineup with the catcher, number 13, Mckenzie Mccarty. McCarty so far on the day 0 for 1. Drew a walk in the first and then flew out to the left fielder in the third. McCarty back in the batter's box here. And they're called a strike. 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. And they're called strike 2. So McCarty going to have to battle here in this one. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, 1 on. And the pitch just a bit outside, but a good pitch right there. Great location there by Buchanan. Seeing if McCarty would go for it. So deuces are wild here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. And another one just a bit outside. You still like the location, though. It's It's right there on the borderline. Could be a ball, could be a strike. And also potentially forces her to swing the bat right there and get herself out, as that one will be fouled off. About the same location there. So going to count full here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 out and 1 on. You have Bivens down at first. She had a leadoff single to begin the inning. And that's going to be a walk. Second time McCarty has walked here on the day.
Now batting the center fielder, number 1, Kiana Alberts.
So Bivens at second, McCarty at first. And the center fielder, number 1, Kiana Alberts, now standing in. 1 for 2 on the day. Had a single in the first inning. Was caught stealing and then flew out to the left fielder to end the third inning. 1 ball, no strikes here to Alberts. Wind up and a pitch. Fouled right back at us here. 1-1. Again, this is game 1 of 2 here today, a doubleheader. This is our first broadcast of the year here for the Lady Raiders softball team. And really what's been a great game to come out here and broadcast this. You know, you get 2 teams that, especially not only this year, but even in past years, both teams have had very successful softball programs. So you're coming into this one, both teams with at the most 3 losses on the season there, as that's going to get into center field. So some 2-out magic here for Alexandria, as they're able to put another run up on the board here, second hit of the inning.
Now batting the shortstop,
After an RBI single from Kiana Alberts that scores Hannah Bivens. So McCarty moves on to second, Alberts at first. And the shortstop, number 21, Caitlin Bear, now at the plate. She'll roll it down to third, and this time Daisy Gibson just steps on the base. Doesn't roll her ankle, nothing like that. So that will end the inning, but the Tigers put 1 run up on the board here in the inning. 1 run here on 2 hits. Also no errors and 2 left on base. We'll go ahead and step aside here for a quick break. We'll be back here with the bottom of the 5th right here on the WHS Network. Welcome back here to the bottom of the 5th inning. You're on the WHS Network on YouTube.com. A 5-2 lead here for the Lady Raiders as we enter the bottom half of the 5th inning. And we'll begin things here with the third baseman, number 33, Daisy Gibson. 2 for 2 here on the day so far. Very nice day here in Game 1 for Daisy. And not only that, but really this whole entire Raider lineup here, everybody's been very productive so far. And the only inning that we haven't scored was last inning there in the 4th. So So hopefully we'll get back to knocking the cover off the ball and putting some more runs up on the board. You can never have enough runs. The more, the merrier. And they're outside on the outer part of the plate. Called a strike now. 2-2 the count here on Gibson. Followed by right fielder Olivia Smith. She awaits on deck. Bean with the windup and the pitch just a bit up in the zone. So 3-2, full count here. Here's the payoff pitch. And that's going to be a shot into center field. Center fielder's there and will make the catch for out number 1. So now we'll have the right fielder, number 20, Olivia Smith, now at the plate. 0 for 2 here on the day. Grounded out to the second baseman in the first inning, and struck out looking in the third. So a great time to get your first hit of the day or just get on base somehow. This really adds a lot here. If she can get on base with the speed that she possesses, base hit might score all the way from first, just depending upon the placement of the ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike here on Olivia. Followed by Hannah Buchanan. Chopper to the third base side, and that will get foul. So that will now run the count to 1-2. Really have to fight off some of these pitches here. Bean gets her signs. Here's the windup and a 1-2 pitch. Up in the zone for a ball. Nice pair of eyes there by Olivia Smith. Not chasing after that one. And time will be called by Olivia Smith. And down the third baseline, off the third baseman's glove. A frozen rope there by Olivia Smith. And that will be a 1-out single by Olivia, so she collects her first hit of the day.
Number 28, Hannah
And
Buchanan.
So now we'll have the pitcher, number 28, Hannah Buchanan, at the plate with a lady on at first. Buchanan 1 for 2 on the day. Struck out swinging in the first inning. Then in the third, an RBI single. So Alexis Bean will start Buchanan off here with an 0-1 count. And they're called a strike. So again, Buchanan have to protect here with 0-2 count. Anything close, you're putting the sweet part of the bat on the ball here, and that's exactly what she does. A base hit into center field. Here comes Smith around second. She'll be standing up at third. A nice piece of hitting there by Hannah Buchanan. Helps herself out a little bit more. And the Raiders have them on the corners with 1 out here in the inning. So another courtesy runner down there.
Courtesy runner for the Raiders, number 18.
At first
Alison
base
Stewart.
will be number 18, Alison Stewart once
Now
again.
batting the first baseman, number 10, Emma Shuck.
So first baseman number 10, Emma Shuck, now stands in for the Lady Raiders. 0 for 2 here on the day. Struck out swinging in the second inning, but a wild pitch allowed her to advance on down to first and then ended up scoring a run. And then she flew out to the center fielder in the third. So Emma looking for her first hit of the day. Here's the 0-1 and bunted, but foul. It's not a bad decision right there by head coach Jackie Glancy to put the bunt sign on. So 0-2 the count. We'll see what Shuck can do here. And she will strike out swinging. for the second out of the inning. And back to the top of the order, here we go with the left fielder, number 9, Meagan Martin. With runners on the corners here, Meagan 1 for 3 here on the afternoon. So that's a ball low in the dirt. 1-0 to begin things. Again, you have Stewart at first, Smith at third. A 5-2 lead for the Raiders here in the bottom of the fifth. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be into center field, nearly over the head of the center fielder, but able to stick the glove up there at the last second to collect the third out of the inning. So the Raiders threatened here in the fifth as we get no runs here on 2 hits. Also no errors and 2 left on base. We'll head to the top of the 6th. Lady Raiders lead at 5-2. Alrighty, here we are, folks, back with the top of the 6th inning. And so is Mickey Murphy. There she leads off the 6th inning here with a single. It's already a lady on down at first base.
Batting designated player.
And now we'll have the
Abbey Burnett.
Designated player here, number 28, Abbey Burnett, standing in at the plate. Abbey so far 1 for 2 on the day, grounded out to the third baseman in the second inning. She shows bunt, and I don't know, I'm assuming that, I don't know if the ball hit her, I guess it did. So now the Tigers will have him at first and second after the hit by pitch. Murphy at second, Burnett at first. But as I was saying there, Burnett grounded out to the third baseman in the second inning, had a hit in the fourth. As that will be a bunt there by Swango. And she'll be out on the play, so a sacrifice bunt put down. That'll be out number 1. With a 5-4 put out for the first down of the inning. Burnett now moves up to second. Murphy to third. And for the first time of the day here, the Tigers have got really something rolling here. They have put a couple runs up on the board here, but a big-time offensive opportunity here, really about their first one. Brought the bat back. 1-0 to begin things. Here on the right fielder, Hannah Bivens. Bivens 1 for 2. Grounded out to the second baseman in the second inning, then had a single in the fifth. Called a strike, now 1-1. So Buchanan here going to have to show a little composure and hopefully be able to get out of this unscathed. Here's the 1-1 offering. Oh, man, couldn't have missed by a whole lot on that one. So now it's 2-1. Buchanan with the windup. Here's the pitch. Called strike. And that really doesn't make a whole lot of sense right there. You show bunt. You do absolutely nothing with it and then watch a strike go on in there. Why not just put a swing on it and go from there? It's going to be a shot out to left field. Here's Barton. She'll make the catch. And that will score a run. So a sac fly out there to the left fielder.
Now batting the second
Now
baseman,
2 outs here in the inning.
Kirsten Van Horn.
Murphy scored there on the play. Makes it a 5-3 ball game. So ball there, 1-0 here on the second baseman, number 11, Kirsten Van Horn. Van Horn 1 for 2, had a solo shot in the third, solo homer that is, and then flew out to the center fielder in the fifth. 2 balls, no strikes on Van Horn with a lady on out there at second base and Abbey Burnett. And the pitch. And that's also going to be high and away now, 3-0. If you can't tell there, the wind has returned out of nowhere. I think that we was in a wind tunnel sometimes here. 3-0 the pitch. And in there for a strike. That actually kind of looked more like a ball than some of the other ones that were actually called balls. Here's a 3-1 pitch, and that will be in the left field there as Van Horn will fly out to the left fielder for the third and final out of the inning. But the Lady Tigers put another run up on the board here in the inning. A 5-3 lead now for Wapahani as we head to the bottom half of the sixth inning. We'll step aside and we'll be back with more on the WHS Network. Here we are back with the bottom of the sixth inning. And that's going to be down the left field line there for Casey Dragoo. So a leadoff double here for Casey. We do have a new pitcher here, number 28, Abbey Burnett. Now in the game pitching for the Lady Tigers. She came in for Alexis Bean.
Number 15, Annie Shuck.
So now the catcher, number 15, Annie Shuck, at the plate. And that's a deep drive in the left field. Unfortunately, that was way foul. If that would have been fair, that would have been no question out of here. So 0-1 here on Annie Shuck, followed by Amaya Smith. Annie so far here on the day 3 for 3 with an RBI. She's going to have to dig out of this one here. 0-2 the count. And just a bit inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here on Shuck. And down to the third base side, foul once more. So Shuck continuing to battle here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dragoo out at second base after a leadoff double. She had a nice day from the plate there. 1 for 3 so far with a walk and a run scored. Again, Shuck 3 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. And that's a deep drive left field, and it's going to be at the base of the wall. Dragoo will stay put at third. So Dragoo had to wait to see if it was going to be caught. And again, Shuck nearly takes one out of the ballpark. Man, what a strong performance here today by Annie.
Olivia Smith.
So back-to-back doubles. Dragoo now at third. Shuck at second. And the Raiders have got it a cooking now with Amaya Smith, the second baseman, at the plate. 1 for 3 on the evening, or rather the afternoon here for her. As she fouls that one off, now 0-1. Amaya singled and recorded an RBI in the first inning. Then grounded out to the shortstop in the second and flew out to the right fielder in the fourth inning. Ball low and in, 1-1. Man, a great opportunity here to get a couple more runs back that we gave up in the last 2 innings here. This one is definitely still very manageable here, especially for the Tigers. We need a couple more runs to tie this thing up, and the Raiders would like to put as much room as possible between them and their opponent. Up 5-3 here. Smith will chop it to the shortstop. That will score a run, and she'll be out at first base. Thought for a moment there that might get over her head, but that will be an out. Shuck moves on to third base, and the Raiders score another run.
Center fielder number 19, Dayton Lee.
So a 6-3 put out there for the first down of the inning. Again, Dragoo scored on the play. Another RBI recorded there for Amaya, her second here on the day. 1-0 to begin things here to the Lady Raiders center fielder, Dayton Lee. She's 1 for 2. Chop to the shortstop. That will again score another run. So a pair of ground ball outs results in a pair of runs here for the Raiders, as there's now nobody on and 2 out here in the inning. Lady Raiders now lead at 7-3.
Number 33, Daisy Gibson.
So a pair of sacrifice groundouts by Smith and Lee. Expand the lead back to 4. And Gibson will chop it over the third baseman's head in the left field as she keeps the hot bat going here, her third hit of the day.
Now batting
so the right fielder number 20, Olivia Smith, will now stand in at home plate. 1 for 3 on the day, grounded out to the second baseman in the first. Struck out looking in the third and singled in the fifth. And these ladies have just continued on and on here, getting the bats going from the very get-go. And then they've been able to find some late magic here in the bottom half of the sixth inning just to cushion that lead a little bit. So 2-0 the count here on Smith. Here's the pitch, and that will be over to the right side. The first baseman will get there, and she is not able to make the play. And we ran out of real estate to get that camera shot in there. It's all Redbeard's fault, not really. That's all right. He's doing a fine job here. He's getting, with the camera view that we have here, we have very minimal space. We got a divider in the window, and then we have the end of the window sill that we can't get all of right field. So just gotta bear with us here. We're definitely doing the best we can out here. 2 balls, 1 strike here on Olivia Smith. 7-3 lead for the Raiders. We've already played 2 runs, looking for more, as that will be a ball inside. Now running the count to 3-1. And really, Smith is, yes, she's only collected 1 hit here on the day, 1 for 3, but every at-bat has really been a very good at-bat. She's worked the count, made the pitcher work, and that is extremely important because then you're pretty much seeing about everything they got. So from that standpoint, you're going to be a really tough out. She's really battled along here, so we can see, hopefully, some great things here in this AB, and that's going to be right back up the middle off the bag. So another base hit for Olivia Smith, her 2nd on the day. They always say
number 28, Hannah,
that different things in the game are contagious. Not hitting is contagious. Hitting is contagious. Great defense is contagious. One right after the other. And it's just spread throughout the whole entire lineup here. 1 through 9, these ladies are hitting the ball. And it's definitely great to see and very encouraging to see. Down to the shortstop, tosses on the 3rd, and she'll make the play for the 3rd and final out of the inning. But the Raiders played a couple more runs here in the inning.
After 6 innings of
as
play,
Wapahani gets 2 runs here on 4 hits, also no errors, and 2 left on base. So we'll head to the top of the 7th. Lady Raiders lead at 7-3. We'll be back with more Lady Raiders softball right after the break. Top of the 7th inning here from beautiful Raider Field here on the WHS Network. Again, Wapahani leads at 7-3 as we begin the top of the 7th here with a number 9 hitter in the order. Number 13, the third baseman, number 16, Elias Stanridge. She fouls that one off down the left field line. Now 1-1 the count. Again, each of the last 2 innings, the Lady Tigers have been able to muster up a couple of runs here and get right back into this one, but then the Raiders had different ideas as they played 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning to expand the lead back to 4. So it gives us a little bit more cushion here. Again, following this game 1 of today's doubleheader, we'll have about right about a 30 to 45 minute break. I would say pretty close to that. They'll have to make sure and get the players refueled back up again, get them something to eat, get them something to drink, all that good stuff. I'm assuming they'll probably end up redoing the field here as far as getting it dragged and raked and all that good stuff. And might end up having to possibly redo the lines and all that stuff. So that's why it might be closer to 45 minutes, possibly even as long as an hour. We'll wait and see. Just as long as it takes them to refuel themselves and get the field back together here, as that will be a line out to Dayton Lee
The catcher, number 13,
for the first down of the inning.
McCarty.
So now the catcher, number 13, Mckenzie Mccarty, will stand in here. So far, 0 for 1 on today, has a pair of walks and flew out to the left fielder in the third. And there for a ball, 1-0. Called a strike. Evens the count up at 1 ball, 1 strike here on Mckenzie Mccarty. Again, 1 out and nobody on here in the top of the 7th. The Raiders just 2 outs away. Could be 1 out away. A deep drive in the center there as, again, Dayton Lee already busy here through the first 2 batters of the inning as McCarty flies out for the second out of the inning.
Now batting center fielder number 1, Kiana Alberts.
So the last hope here for the Tigers, center fielder number 1, Kiana Alberts, with 2 outs here in the inning. Ball low and in, 1-0. Buchanan with a strong outing once again, proving the senior leadership prevails here in this one here. Still got 1 more out to go, but man, I tell you what, definitely bringing a lot to the table here and has helped herself out with the bat as well. The hitting, fantastic here from the Lady Raiders. Defensively solid. The pitching's been great. Just every facet of the game we have played very, very well today. So 2-1 here on Alberts. Steps back in there. Buchanan rocks back. Here's a pitch. And again, that will be fouled off to the third base side, and they will run out of room. As the Lady Tigers are now down to their last strike. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Deuce is wild. Buchanan gets her signs, a wind-up and a pitch. And again, fouled off as Alberts is staying alive, as the old disco song goes. And a 2-2 pitch to Alberts will be popped up in the infield. Who wants it? Dragoo will take it, and that's the old ball game, folks. The Lady Raiders win it here today in Game 1 of the doubleheader by a final score of 7-3. A great game here by Wapahani, and a great pitching performance here in Game 1 by Hannah Buchanan as she shuts down this Alexandria Lady Tigers offense here today, followed by some great defense and outstanding hitting, and very timely hitting as well here by the Lady Raiders. So again, a 7-3 victory here in Game 1 of today's doubleheader. We'll go ahead and probably take a short break here. We'll get back with you here on some stats to finish up today's Game 1 broadcast. Again, 7-3 victory today in Game 1 for your Wapahani Lady Raiders. We'll be back right after the break. All right, welcome back here, folks. Brandon Morvillius alongside cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. Again, as you see there on your screen, the Wapahani Lady Raiders now improved to 7-1 on the season with a 7-3 victory over the Alexandria Tigers here in Game 1 of today's doubleheader. We take a look here at the overall line score here for both teams. First for the Alexandria Lady Tigers, they get 3 runs here on 6 hits, 1 error, and 4 left on base, while Wapahani collects 7 runs on 15 hits, no errors, and 10 left on base. The Raiders, like I said, now improved to 7-1 on the year. Alexandria now falls to 8-4. A big-time victory here for the Raiders, as they was, like I said, they got it going early. They kept it on them throughout the entire ball game, and then was able to push some runs across the plate late in the game, which cushioned that lead a little bit more. But just a great performance all the way around the board here. The pitching was great there by Buchanan. I mean, just really didn't allow Alexandria to really get any kind of momentum going whatsoever throughout the ball game. And it was just very well pitched. She kept the ball down, was locating it very well, and really didn't leave the ball over the plate too much to where she could get hit hard and to where Alexandria can have a big inning. So just a fantastic job there by Hannah Buchanan. Then the offense, like I said, they got it going early and often, 1 through 9. We got it done. We got it done, and that's how the game should be played. And spreading it throughout to where everybody's producing. And even the girls that came off the bench and was a courtesy runner there with Carissa Clairday and Alison Stewart, and even the ladies that didn't get to play, they still bring something to the table as well, and rooting these girls on. So, just a great game overall here. The defense was solid, flashing some leather. I know seen a couple times there by Meagan Martin and Dayton Lee, Daisy Gibson. The list can go on and on here, but really like what I've seen here in this Game 1 of today's doubleheader. Again, we'll have Game 2 coming up. We'll have to download both of these games there later on due to not having any Wi-Fi, obviously, out here. But a good one to start off with here. A great win here, and now advancing on to 7-1 on the year, folks. So, again, greatly appreciate all of our sponsors here. Jones Auto Body, Stoops Automotive Group, Buick and GMC Dealership, University Avenue Dental, Greg Pyle, DDS, as well as B. Joseph Davis, Attorney at Law, the Liberty Perry Alumni Association, and the Muncie Dragway, all proud sponsors of the WHS Network. So thanks again for watching us here, folks, for Game 1 of today's doubleheader between the Alexandria Lady Tigers and your Wapahani Lady Raiders. Make sure to stay tuned in here. We got Game 2 roughly here in about 45 minutes to an hour from now. So until then, folks, Brandon Morvillius alongside cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy, and thanking all of you for watching. And we'll see you next time right here on the WHS Network.